Today we're going to talk about why I keep getting sales despite having only listed maybe a handful of items, like 4, 5, 6 items in the past 30 days, new items, but I keep getting sales in and maintaining the sell-through rate that I want in unit quantity. It's just kind of boggling my mind that it keeps happening, but it does. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to pack and ship all the items that sold this weekend on eBay. But if it's your first time here, my name is Brian and I'm a reseller. I resell on eBay in the everything category. So I sell jeans, cookware, tools, toys, you name it. I'm probably trying to sell it on eBay if I can make some profit on it. I go to garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, and Facebook Marketplace to find items to sell online for a profit. So let's get right into it. This past weekend, it was a 4-day weekend for me. The weekend for me starts on Friday because after I ship orders Friday morning, I don't ship anything else until Monday. That's the next business day. So last Thursday, I did a complete delist and relist of my entire store, which at that point in time was 346 items. I started getting sales right away, so I got some sales on Thursday, and then it continued. Friday morning, I got up and I shipped orders. I went home and I put a store sale on, and I do a sale, not a coupon. That way when I'm doing the sale, buyers see the final price plus shipping. If they see a coupon, it's the list price, and they go, and save 20% with this coupon. Not everybody can do the math in their head or wants to break out their phone. So I do a sale. I did a sale that ran through Friday morning through Monday night. It was a holiday yesterday. It was Labor Day. So I counted that in the weekend because I wasn't shipping orders on Monday. So I ran a 25% off store-wide sale to see what would happen, and I was pleasantly surprised. I pulled in 17 orders Friday morning through Sunday night. That is exceeding my 1% of inventory sell-through per day goal, and that's in units, not in dollars necessarily. I should probably be looking at it in dollars, but I typically look at, if you have 100 items, you should sell 1 per day, is the way I look at it. I've heard other people talk about that, but that's just a rule of thumb that I like to go by. So I should have been selling about, I said 346 items listed, should have been selling about 3.5 items per day, which would have been about 14.5 items over, or 14 items over 4 days, and ended up selling 17 items. So it's, and I know there's people probably watching this who sell 17 items in a day. And they're like, golly, man, that's small potatoes. But to me, it's good sized potatoes. So I'm happy with that. So that finished up my week. Finished up at about 25 items sold for the week, not counting Monday. So that, because I do Monday through Sunday on my sales. But still, it's $344 in sales for the 4 days. And we're going to go through the items. We're going to pack them all first, then we're going to ship them all. I find it, for myself at least, faster to do it that way rather than pack it, get the scale, ship it, move the scale, pack another thing. It just is faster to pack them. And I'll have them all stacked up right down here on the floor, and then I'll get the scale out and we'll just go to town shipping them out. So let's get right into it. The first item that sold over the Labor Day holiday weekend was this OU, University of Oklahoma Sooners. Has a kind of a purple suede bill, denim, call it a dad hat. It's a really cool piece in really good shape. It is used, but I picked this up at a local Goodwill for $4.31 and sold it for $18.67 plus shipping. Right down the street from OU here. So there's lots of OU merchandise at my local thrift stores for sure. And My bags are getting all wonky there. This is an unstructured hat, so I am going to put it in a poly bag. I put all the hats that I sell in poly bags just for a little extra attention. I feel like it's a better presentation. I know plenty of people don't do that, but I like to do it. I think I like putting them in boxes. So I got this old brake parts box. It's in clean condition. It's going to fit in perfectly just like that. Good to go. And then we've got one. I will say, if you're not listing items consistently, and I found this in the past, delisting and relisting, and I used to do select items, now I just do my whole store, and then putting on a store sale. And if you have extra room, there may be some items you have massive margin in, sending some offers out. So if I had 20 items that I had available to send an offer on whenever I put the store sale, because it gets a lot of extra attention, I might send extra offers, an extra 5, 8, 10% on 1 or 2 items that I had a lot of margin in, to show eBay the activity I have going on in my store. And then I'm responding to offers. People send messages, I'm fast to respond to them. If people send an offer on an item, I'm fast to respond to it, counter it, accept it, whatever it is. And that activity, I think, is what's keeping the sales going, you know, all together. So in general, I mean, I'm a top-rated seller. That's not like some kind of a brag or anything. It's not too hard to become a top-rated seller. So I do believe that helps out. I do have all of my items promoted, so I promote it 2, 3, or 5% depending on the item, how many are listed, the saturation of the category. It just varies. So I'm just gonna write. Somebody asked me the other day, because I had shipped like 12 or 13 items, like, man, how do you remember what all those were when we went to do the labels? Sometimes it's really easy. Like, I could probably remember this is the hat, but I'll put a little note, just says hat, where I'm going to put the label. So whenever I pick the item up to ship it, I know what I'm shipping. Thankfully, I've never mixed up shipments, so pretty happy about that. Next item that sold is an owl item. I've sold a couple other owl items recently. This came from a local estate sale. They had a fill a basket on the last day for 10 bucks, where you could put anything that fit in the shopping basket with the little wire handles like you see at a grocery store. It was 10 bucks. I got a whole bunch of owl stuff in addition to a bunch of other little trinkety stuff in this basket. I've got such little cost in it. It's crazy. I did assign a cost to this of 50 cents and ended up selling it for $10.42 plus shipping. So we'll get some bubble wrap. There we go. It's got certain little divots there to get the lid out. So I'm going to do is wrap it up like that. Whenever I wrap things up to go inside of a box, I don't use tape, even though I have tape, to like wrap up the bubble wrap. I use shrink wrap, stretch wrap, whatever you want to call it, because personally, I don't like taking things apart that have been all taped up inside boxes. And in my head, I just imagine other people don't like to do that. So maybe everybody hates stretch wrap too, I don't know. But I feel like it's the better of two options. Put that in, we're just going to put that in a shoe. I might go in here. 4x8x6. Let me use this guy. We have lots and lots and lots of these shoe boxes. This is a box my dad scavenges for me from the phone company, the town I grew up in, the town he lives in. There's phone systems that come in there. When they install them, they throw a bunch of these boxes in their recycle bin, and he picks them all up. It's a great size box for shipping. It's a 12 by 8 by 6. Doesn't cost anything, which is the best part. If you had to buy that box, it's probably a 75-cent, 99-cent box to buy it because of the closure type. So when I wrap stuff up like this, I just put some paper in the bottom, put a little paper around it, form a little, kind of a little nest cocoon around it, and then put a couple of pieces of paper on top. Having your package over full is a good sign, not too over full, but you want to have a little bit of paper up there so you can get it wherever you're securing your box. Get a nice tight fit. There's a little bit of little tear there in the box. It's not going to be a big deal. Tape will fix that up, no problem. Actually, just put a piece of tape right there, right over that little spot. Alright, probably a little overkill on the tape there, but that's okay. So we've got the owl there. I'm going to put my shipping label back here where this product tag is, cover it up. Owl. Again, I don't think I'm going to forget that, but just in case. Next item that sold is this vintage scuba belt buckle. It's a solid brass piece. I picked up at an estate sale on half off day for $4. I probably overpaid for this one a little bit. It would have been better at $2, but that's okay. Paid for it, sold it for $10.42 plus shipping on the store sale. And I'm happy to see this one go out the door. This is the second one I sold. I sold another one that was really, really ornate, a scuba diving belt buckle for $90 that went to China. It was pretty cool. I've got the perfect box for this one. Another little box my dad picks up from a little mechanic shop in the town he lives in. So I get a lot of brake pads and disc brakes and sound system. Boxes for speakers and stuff. So a lot of weird or small size boxes that work out really well. Perfect. I know that's the belt buckle. I'm not going to label that one. Then what do we have next? We have a piece of cookware. I should say cookware set. It's this Salad Master. It's a saucepan, a double boiler, and a lid. I bought the lid and the saucepan together. The double boiler I bought separately, and it just happened to fit this saucepan whenever I found it. So I've got $10 into the set. Probably a little less than 10. I just rounded up and sold it for $41.17 plus shipping. Love selling cookware. It's not very fragile. Usually fetches a pretty good price. And this one actually wasn't hard to clean up. It was in pretty good shape already. So let's see. I'm gonna re-shrink wrap because for some reason whenever I shrink wrapped it, I had the lid handle up, which I don't do. To ship it, you want it as flat as possible. So I cut the stretch wrap and put the. Now this thing gonna. Okay. Hang on a second here. Hang on. I know better than that. Don't want it shaking around like that at all. At all. So. I'm going to put one piece of bubble wrap just like that. Then we'll get another piece of bubble wrap and put it on the lid there with the stretch wrap. That's going to put pressure on it. And should keep it. There we go. I'm going to put just a little bit of stretch wrap right here around the handle as well to keep that thing from clanking around while it's shipping. I might just stretch wrap the whole handle. Might as well. Maybe part right there. All right. There we go. I did pre-select these boxes, so there's some boxes here I pre-selected for bigger pieces, so that it wouldn't be so difficult while we were talking here to get these shipped out. It's another automotive box, automotive lamps. So get the coffee out of the way. Don't want to spill that all over everything. We'll get a little bit of paper in here. And this box is just about the right size for this setup too. Some of this is a little bit more for presentation than anything, because again, these aren't fragile. It's not a fragile piece. Just want to have just a little bit of cushion in between the cardboard, ground contact if it got tossed, which, you know, in shipping can definitely happen. I will have, if you've seen my packing videos, you've already seen this probably, but if you haven't, I'll have links below for all the items I use to ship with and pack with. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I don't get any money from it or anything like that. Just so you have the information. Whenever you're packing stuff, don't be cheap. You don't want something to get, you don't want it to get dinged up, then come back to you because you saved, you know, 10, 15, 25 cents on something. That's what it looks like before the packing paper goes on top. The only thing I probably won't have linked, and I guess I could, to their .com, is the packing paper. I buy it at Walmart. It's the cheapest I can find for individual sheets of craft paper or packing paper. Or the newspaper type packing paper. So it's like 220 sheets for 15 or 16 bucks, something like that. For a 24 by 24. I can't find it cheaper anywhere else. I've been looking. So I thought, oh, surely I can get it somewhere else cheaper. I haven't been able to find it cheaper anywhere. No, I can put a label on that one. That one's kind of stuck on there pretty good. Okay. That is a nice tight fit. I tend to over tape boxes sometimes just because I want to make sure everything gets there in one piece. Boxes don't pop open. They have as much structural integrity as possible. This has a little flap here. I'm just gonna cover the flap up like you're wrapping a Christmas present. All right, good to go. We're not going to label that one. I know what that is, so I'm not too worried about that. Got that one ready to go. Next item is a pair of these depth gauges from Oregon Chainsaw Accessories. I've been selling a lot of these lately. I picked up 413 chainsaw accessories, mostly sharpening parts or sprocket tips, at a garage sale. 413 pieces for 60 bucks, so I've got 15 cents per piece. So these guys, I've got 30 cents into the pair, sold them for $16.34 free shipping. So I've sold enough of these now. I know that on a pair at free shipping, my profit's going to be about $7. So 30 cents into $7, and that's after all fees, shipping, cost of goods, everything. I'll profit $7 on those. And I've just been shipping these in poly bags. Been having very good success and getting good feedback on the orders I'm shipping, so seems to be going pretty well. These are made in USA because they're vintage. Not that there's not vintage stuff that's not made in USA, but made in USA. The new ones, if you go buy brand new ones from Oregon, they're made in China, so I think that's why they're selling so well. Set those there. What is up next? Monopoly cards. So it's some vintage Monopoly. I'm not going to take them out, but it's the property cards. It's a full deck of property cards from a vintage Monopoly game. Picked these up for 75 cents at I bought a Monopoly game and I tore it apart. 75 cents, and then I sold it for $6 plus shipping. Wish I had another one of those little bitty boxes I had there. If I do, I don't know where it's at. Okay, not the end of the world. Well, it's a little too much bubble wrap. There's a little bit of overkill there. I'll save a piece. Yeah, I've had these cards for probably close to a year now. I still have some of the houses and apartments left. The reason I tore it apart is because the game didn't have all the tokens, the moving pieces. So I ended up selling them as just a lot missing a piece. I ended up selling everything separately more than I would sell the game for. So that's why I did that. I know what those are. I'm not going to label those. Next up are some Levi's. Levi's 501s. It's two different colors, but the same size. So I picked these up at Goodwill. They're in really good shape. They're 34-36s, so kind of an odd size, but it looked like the sell-through rate was going to be pretty decent. I paid $21 for the pair and sold them for $41.17 plus shipping on source sale. On shipping, on my clothing, I do flat rate shipping. I did $12.99 on this bundle of jeans. Should come out under $12.99. Probably should come out around $9.50 or so. They're going to fit perfectly in a shoebox. I love these boxes. They're so versatile. You can put teapots in them. You can put a pair of jeans in them. I've shipped a full-size pair of overalls in them. This is just a good size box to use. I'll probably remember because of the weight, but I'm still going to put a little note here that says jeans. All right, we got those guys out of the way. Next up is another item from that Fill-A-Basket sale. It's a little realtor. It's the brand is JJ, but it's like a brass realtor pin. It's got a little calculator, a phone, a contract, a pen, and a sold sign with the house. Really cool piece. Got a cost on this of 25 cents, and I sold it for $7.42 free shipping. So all the ones I saw selling were selling with free shipping. So I just did the same thing. It's probably going to cost around $4 to ship it, $4.50. So I'll probably end up making like $2 on it. Not a great profit, but I'm okay with that. It was just like, at some point in those baskets, when you got a bunch of stuff in them, you find stuff like this, you just drop it down in the basket, and you could essentially call it free. You just drop it in the basket, and it goes ding, 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 and finds its way down to the bottom of the basket somewhere. So you're basically just, I had a ton of stuff like that I was just dropping in the basket, and it was just falling to the bottom after I had filled it up with a bunch of stuff already. So don't have any. I'm looking over there for a poly bag, which is right here. That thing, no cleaning, super easy to take a picture of. I have no problem selling that, you know, paying $0.25 and selling it for $7.42 free shipping. Some people are gonna probably say it's a waste of time. Why would you do that? You're such a weirdo. I don't agree. I don't disagree with the weirdo part, but I don't mind selling stuff like that. I don't go looking for stuff like that. I don't roll into estate sales and go, man, how many items can I find for 25 cents and sell for $7.42 free shipping? That's not what I do. I go in, anywhere I'm shopping, I go in and I look for the most value. And then once I think I've found the most value, I'm standing there. I've already made the trip. I've got money in my pocket. I need to sell things. So I just will look for other things that I can make money on. If I could only make 50 cents on that, I wouldn't have bought it. So anyhow. All right, this one's gonna be a fun one. This is gonna take a little box origami. Is this duck artwork, and it's like an old duck decoy that was cut in half, and then they screwed it to the back of this board. It's really cool. I say this a fair amount, but I really considered keeping this. I thought it was a really cool piece. And I was like, you know, I just don't need it. I have lots and lots of cool artwork once we get moved into our house that we're going to be finding places to hang it up, and I just don't need it. So I paid $15 for it at an estate sale. I ended up selling it. I had it on the store sale, and then somebody sent me an offer. I countered, and we landed on $29.89 plus shipping. So this is a sizable piece. It's going to go in a 25 inch box, which I have here. I've pre-selected the box already. I didn't do anything to the box, but I'm gonna tear some tape off the box here. I may be cutting this box down a little bit. I don't know if I will or not, actually. So we'll see. But this is about the right size box to use on it. This is a box I got from, there was a guy I was buying a lot of boxes from on Facebook Marketplace. He was picking them up at comic book stores, a store that he used to work at. And they're sturdy boxes. This is a double wall cardboard box. Good, it's very, very sturdy. And I was picking up boxes from him for probably around 10 cents a box. maybe less, because I'd pick up 100 or more boxes at a time, and I was paying them $10 for a carload. And on top of the boxes, there was also packing material. So it was a pretty sweet deal. I just don't happen to need that right now because I'm getting so many boxes from my dad. But that might be, if you're looking for some free boxes, you might check out local like comic book or video game stores where they sell a lot of figurines and have a lot of that kind of stuff. It might just pay off for you. If he was trying to charge, you know, $50 for a load of boxes, I may have started looking myself. But at 10 cents a box, it wasn't worth it to me to look around. So, all right, we got some tape on it. Now let's do some bubble wrap. And I'm going to put more bubble wrap on it. This isn't it. I'm going to make sure this is protected very well to get shipped. Let's see, where did I, there we go. Forgot where I set my scissors. All right. This is probably some of the most clumsy bubble wrapping you're ever going to see right here. I work in a pretty small space. It's a 10 by 15 storage unit that houses all my items, plus all the packing supplies and boxes and all that stuff. So it's a little awkward at times. But it's okay. Pin off. Luckily I have more pins. This doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to have a bunch of packing paper in the box as well. It's going to be nice and protected, but kind of what it looks like to start with. Let's start with that. Don't need the shrink wrap for now. Set the scissors in there for now. Put the tape right over here for now. Get that out of the way so we have the most room to work with the... Actually, I don't need that one pushed down, that's fine. Alright, so we've got a nice base layer in there. Go back in and put our duck, which fits pretty well. You can see it's about the right size box for it. So I'm going to put some around the perimeter to cushion any bumps. get this packed. A lot of times whenever I'm packing, I'm grabbing 2 pieces at a time. My camera died mid-pack, so I've got it plugged in here. Hopefully it'll keep going. But I've got everything all packed up, so I think I'm good to go now. Just get that bad boy taped up. Now, go a long ways. There we go. There we go. Not going to label that one either. I know exactly what is in that box. No worries there. So we got the duck packed. Next item is a set of 4 Lennox. This is their Temperware. It's kind of like a stoneware. This is the Merriment collection. It's got some really cool little floral patterns inside. So there's a set of 4. I bought 7, so I sold a set of 3 already. But then we've got this set of 4 going out. Up. I meant to reach for the stretch wrap and I just reached over for the tape. Okay. Those are good. I don't know what size box. This will probably fit right inside of this square box. No, too close. Too close. Think of this guy. It's a little bit bigger style of shoebox or flap close box, like a tuck close. And those don't fit in there very well at all because of the height. I thought for sure one of those boxes would work, so I did not pre-select a box for these. That box looks like it may be different up here. Got another shoebox. I've used a couple, so I can refill that one. Is this the same box as that? Can't tell. Looks similar. Yeah, that's not going to work either. Well, this is interesting. It's been a long time since I didn't just have a box. It's like super handy to put something in. That one's too big. Maybe this guy? It's a little bit tight on the sides. I really don't like that. I may just wait and pack that one one separately off camera because it's going to take me a little bit. I'm probably going to need to go find a box somewhere. I thought for sure I had it right here. I had a box for it, but I do not. Yeah, okay. We're going to wait on this one for now. I'm going to put it right over here. Oh, the packing paper. What's a bummer. Okay. I sold those. Let's see what's next. Is this relish dish? I do have a box for this one. Because USPS was the default shipper, which is what they selected, because that's all I had offered. This is a brand new relish dish I picked up at an estate sale for $2. Really cool piece. Has all the cut glass, etched glass. A Tiara exclusive. Picked it up for $2, sold it for $11.17 plus shipping. Buyer put a note: if shipping USPS, please pack well. I'm guessing they've gotten some broken packages through USPS that they weren't too excited about. So, understandable that they'd want it packed well. I was going to pack it well anyhow, so good deal. Just kind of secure the box so it doesn't come open. I think I had this one picked out to ship in, if I remember right. This one? I think so. Oh, and I was going to cut the box down a little bit. There's one more box after this I'm going to cut down as well for some cookware. So, I don't know, I don't remember if I think I did show that one time, cutting down a box, but I'm not too precious with it. I just kind of do a quick and dirty cut down so I don't just take up tons of time. You'd probably take a lot of time if you wanted to, but I don't. So I'm looking at how much extra space I want. I want that right there. Mark that line right there. Now I can just follow the lines in the corrugate and make a cut all the way around the box. And if you get off on your cut just a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Just get back to where your line was, and as long as it's not too dramatic, you'll be in good shape. I used to use rulers and draw lines all the way around, and then I realized that it's just not necessary to do that, so I don't. Box cut, good to go. We'll put the end back on. It'll just take a minute. I did have somebody suggest to me one time just cutting down the middle of the whole box and then sliding the two sides together, which I've not tried. I feel like this looks just a little bit more original, and I don't know. I guess I just like this way. It looks a little bit clumsy. It feels a little bit clumsy, but it works pretty well. So I've shipped a lot of items cutting the boxes and taping the ends back on like this. Never had any issues with packaging, breakage, anything like that, doing it this way, so just keep doing it. If I had a bunch of issues, I wouldn't do it. Alright, we'll get some paper in the box. We're going to add a couple extra pieces because the buyer said pack carefully. So that's what we're going to do. It's got a nice, probably 1.5 to 2 inch layer of paper popping up there. Some paper around the perimeter. Add a little extra packing there in the corners. Pack there, good there. Good on that corner. Okay, there we go. Now we'll get, so you can see I've got it nice and wrapped up there. Get a nice bunch of paper across the top. I did have somebody ask me a while back about why paper instead of bubble wrap for packing for void fill. It's about it's about 10% of the price versus I think it was 10% of the price. Maybe it was 25% of the price, whatever, of per square foot. So even if I'm using twice as many square feet, still saving money. Alright, this way. I don't know if my audio is any better or worse. I took off my microphone because I had to plug in the power, or my microphone, the receiver plugs into my camera. Okay, and which end did I tape up? I guess that was this end. Looks good though. Alright. Get this extra packing shipping sticker off. See if this one will come off. Yeah, more or less. All right, good to go there. I know that's the relish dish. I'm not going to label that. What's up next? Relish dish. So this is going to be, this is the other box that we're going to cut down. It's a set of Calphalon cookware. 2 pieces. So we've got a stock pot here. And this is like a, I don't know what they call this, a chef's pan, chef's pot, saute dish. I don't know. I picked up the pair at Goodwill for $9, and I've got $44.92 plus shipping is what they sold for. So pretty good. And we're gonna get a little bit creative on these and do a little stacking. That right there. Now if I remember, this is the same size box we put the duck in, and it just happens to be a good size for these pots and pans. little gash in the box. It's not a big deal. That might be the part we cut off. That will be the part we cut off, actually. Off to the side here for a second. These are going to go in one end, and then I'm going to cut off the end of the box. So that'll go like that. Line here. Okay. All right, so this is going to be another, just find a line. There we go. That one cut. Move on to the next side. Go. Oh, y'all can't hear it out there, but it is pouring rain, pouring buckets right now. It's going to be fun carting all this stuff to the van and then into the post office. Being a little bit facetious. It's like 70% chance of rain all day, which means it's going to be raining today. All right. Now we're in good shape. I don't always take the old tape off. You should take the old tape off. It's stronger to have new tape on the cardboard versus new tape on old tape. Get better adhesion that way. All right, now we can get just a little bit of paper in the bottom of this. Don't need a ton. This stuff, this anodized aluminum, this will probably, I think this one might be going FedEx. I don't recall. But unless you just drop kick this off of a building, it's not gonna hurt this stuff. It is so sturdy. Make sure I have my setup right, because I'm gonna stretch wrap it all together. Yeah, okay, perfect. We're gonna go like that. We're gonna do it perpendicular. Put the lids on here. Like that. it over. That one just like that. And stretch wrap that all together. And it's going to ship similar to that Salad Master set, just it'll just ship in a stack. I probably didn't even need that much stretch wrap, so that's all I'm going to do, just to hold it together. Some of that a little bit. Perfect. I kind of see without the wrap, the rest of the packing, what that looks like right in there. Now we'll just pack the heck out of it. And it's funny, some people watch me pack cookware or when I talk about it, and they're like, yeah, I'm never ever gonna sell cookware. Which is fine, more for me and everyone else that wants to sell cookware, but I just don't mind it. Put that around the handle. All right. Guy nice and packed in there, that is for sure. It's not going anywhere. Boom. All right. Easy peasy. What do we have next? Calphalon. Now we're shipping a small guy. We're going to ship a little ruler. This is a... Can we go in there? Probably not. It's a little bit too... Nope. Can we go in there? Yep. Oh, it'll go in that flat perfectly. Here we go. I was wondering what I was going to use this one for. That's a ruler box. It's a vintage Lufkin red end ruler. It's got the brass ends. I think it's a 48 inch. I don't know. But it's cool. It has this little brass extension here, so you can pull it out if you need extra measuring, extra length on it. It's a really cool piece. Yeah, I really like these old rulers, but I like to pick them up for $1. I paid $2 for this one, so I didn't pay too much for it. And sold it for $8.17 plus shipping. It was on sale. I think I had it for $10. $10.89 probably, but $8.17 plus shipping. So I'll make okay profit on that one. I'm not worried about that. Perfect. Hopefully I have the weight on here enough where I can make a little bit of money on the shipping as well. Last week was one of the first weeks I didn't actually make money on my shipping in quite a long time. I sold a bunch of free shipping items, and then I was off on shipping on a couple items, so just didn't hit the mark. Put a note on that one so I don't mess that one up. So we got the ruler out. Next is this pair of Schott Zeissel Italian wine glasses. I don't know exactly, but I picked them up at Goodwill for $109 plus tax each, I believe. Yeah, I've got $250 in the pair. Little dust. They've been sitting here a while, so kind of wipe that dust off. Now I'm getting fingerprints on them. There we go. And it's like a beehive base is what they call it, because of all those rings around the base, or the stem I should say. I had a set of 3 that were different colors, 3 or 4, I don't remember. Darker green, not the same brand that I sold a couple weeks ago. So this is one of the things I was talking about that I sent out a separate offer. So I had the 25% off. I saw that I had interested buyers on this. I sent an offer out. The buyer bought them and replied back even with a note that said, you know, thank you for the price, and that was it. So I will ship these guys in a shoebox. I'll get them wrapped up very well. I don't usually pack. I'm gonna need my shrink wrap, my stretch wrap. I dropped it down here. I don't really treat a $9 order any differently than I treat a $90 order. I want people to be happy with their order, no matter how much they paid for it. It's not their fault that I'm charging the price I'm charging. So, and I don't think people expect crappy packaging just because something costs a little bit less. So I want my user experience to be as good as possible. My feedback rating, I'm at 99.8 now because I had a negative feedback, which I think it was a scam. I sold some car floor mats, and they said not what was in the picture. He's a scammer, and I offered to take them back, and they never replied, never anything. But they gave me negative feedback. I'm guessing they wanted me to give them a discount or something to amend the negative feedback, but I don't care about 99.8. So, but where I was going with that is my feedback. I'm at like 30. I'm higher because I'm at like 2,200, 2,300 items sold, and I'm at 810 or so feedback. So I'm at like 33% feedback rate, which I feel like is pretty high. I don't know. I'd be interested, if you're a reseller, what is your feedback rate? And I don't solicit feedback. There's some things I buy, and you know, the day after I buy it, they're sending me a long note saying, please leave positive feedback if you had a good transaction. And then if I don't do that right away, they'll send me another note after I've received the product. You know, if you please contact us before you leave negative feedback. If you have any issues, if you enjoyed your product, please leave, positive feedback. I don't do any of that. And I don't leave feedback until the buyer does. I used to leave automatic feedback when they paid, but now I leave feedback when they leave feedback automatically. But that's the way I do it. And I feel like, you know, if you have 1/3 of your buyers leaving feedback, that's pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it's not good. Tell me. All right, just a few, 3 more orders. This is number 14. Cast iron trivets. These are pretty cool. I picked up these set of 4 at an estate sale. It's been a little while back now. They're like miniature trivets. Same size, different. You can see they got the legs on the back of them. Same size, different patterns. I picked the 4 of them up for $2.20. They're 50 cents a piece. And then I've got some larger ones also listed that I haven't sold yet. So $2.20 into $13.43 plus shipping on these guys. $13.43 plus shipping. Okay. Let's see. You've got another. Might drop them in this little box right here. Now wrap these. In a piece of paper, and we go. That is a good trivet box right there, if I ever saw one. Be shipping those pretty quick. I know what those are. Next item up is this vintage ball peen hammer. This is a Bonnie Tools number 68. It's a 12-ounce ball peen hammer. Really cool piece. Handle's all banged up. Whenever I said I sold it, my son was like, "You sold a hammer?" He likes collecting old tools just because he thinks they're cool. So he was a little bummed that I sold it before I talked to him about it. He has lots of hammers and stuff though, so nope, not that one. I didn't. This is an odd one too. I didn't pick a box out for this one. I don't know if I'm gonna need this whole. Might be. Might be the guy right there. Nope. It's gonna be that one. This seems like a little bit overkill. I don't think this brake box. That's not gonna work. Nope. We're gonna do it in this guy. For kind of a cheap item, which is funny. It actually fits in that styrofoam. That's pretty funny. I don't need a box this big. This is like absolutely silly. I'm trying to use a box that big. Can I cut this one down? 100%. I am planning on cutting a box down for this, but I am. This hammer I happened to look at the ship to information after I sold it, And the reason I told myself, I don't tell them about everything I sell, but I told them I sold this hammer because I looked at the ship to, and the has the person's name, and then it has a dash, and it says NCIS Origins Prop Department, and it's shipping to Beverly Hills Drive in LA, California. So it's actually, I don't know if it's actually going to make it into a TV show. No clue. But I thought I'd message the person who bought it. Say, hey, if this is actually going to be in a TV show, could you tell me which show? That would be pretty cool to watch. And just see if they, you know, actually respond. That'd be pretty interesting. All right. You know, I have to peel the labels off. A lot of times I just put labels right over the top of them. But, yeah. So this is another one where, like, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I'm going to fold the box down. Just like that. The hammer's in there. All right. Shape. And then the last item that we're going to pack up is, so that was $1. Sorry, that was $1 and it's $7.42 plus shipping. Pretty inexpensive. Last item to pack up is this two-pack of Big Mac overalls. I paid $22 for the pair at Goodwill. They were the same size. I don't know what size they were, but I bought them since they were the same size. Listed them together. Paid $22, sold them for $44.92 plus shipping. I had $12.92 shipping on these as well. I hope that works. I'm a little worried that I'm going to lose on shipping on those, but we'll see. It's one of those bigger flap boxes, and that works perfectly just like that. Yep, it's exactly what that box is for. All right, done with the tape. Now we're gonna kind of ship them in kind of reverse order. Not exactly. I'm just gonna grab them, but because I sat them all down start to finish, it's gonna go. We're gonna go backwards. So put the scissors up. That we're gonna do a blue. We're going to do blue thank you notes today. Put the knife up. Stretch wrap away. Get the scale out. To be as accurate as possible, with my digital scale, I always have a blank label I put on the packages to simulate what the whole thing is going to actually weigh. And we're just going to start with these overalls. I got my tape measure right here too, so we're in good shape. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Okay, let's get into orders here. Let's ship them. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. See if we can get under $12.99. That's a 13 by 10 by 7. I use eBay labels. I bring it up in orders on my phone, and then I use Bluetooth. So instead of hitting print label, I hit save label. It gives me the option to open it in an app. I open it in the Munbin printer app, which is the printer that I'm using, the thermal printer. And then I can just print it right from the app. The whole thing takes just a few seconds. 1303 went 4 cents over. That is not the worst thing in the world. It's saying no network found. What's happening here? Come on. 1310. I went back and it there we go. Going to Providence, Rhode Island. All my orders on my notes are pretty much the same. I just put thank you for your purchase. Enjoy. And you don't get to see all the stuff, but I just write on the bottom of the USPS label. There's a nice space there. And for a long time I was doing, around the holidays, I was doing separate labels and writing little notes. And I was like, there's that little space right down there in the bottom. Whoop, that's my practice label. Right down there on the bottom of the label. Why don't I just use that? And so that's what I've been doing ever since. Alright, we've got the movie star here, the hammer. Let's see what we've got. Get back into eBay. Ship the hammer. Get shipping label. We're at 1 pound, 7 ounces. I added it 2 pounds. Let's see if I've got my box size right. Yep. 14 by 7 by 5. I had 14.63. Ugh. Man, I'm losing today. They paid $8.50. I'm paying $8.98. So I'm spending 48 cents more. I could, you know, unpack it, smush it down, and do a bunch. I'm not doing all that, so it's not worth the time to do. Melrose Avenue, LA, California, not Hollywood. I got that all wrong. So get the next one up. Alright, number 2. Now we got the trivets. 1 pound, 2 ounces on that. Glasses. Okay. 1 pound and 2 ounces on the trivets. Go back into eBay, get those suckers. You start making some money on shipping here. Had these at 2 pounds. Yeah, should be good here. So we got 8 by 5 by 3. Buyer paid $8.50. I'm paying $7.57 on that one. So that's what it looks like on the shipping. Purchase the shipping label. Going to San Jose, California. That's 2 in a row going to California. All right, got that done. This set of glasses is 1 pound, 9 ounces. Get the ruler up next. See what we can do on the shipping on these glasses, little wine glasses. I'm at 3 pounds, so we'll see. 9, 12 by 8 by 6. Going to Richland, Washington. Buyer paid $9.67. I'm paying $8.98, so making 69 cents on that one. Not bad. All right, what are we going to do next? Oh, we've got 9 ounces on the ruler. Let's see here. That's the Monopoly cards there. 9 ounces on the ruler. By 6 by 2. Well, what's a good one? Buyer paid $7.96 because I had this at a pound. I paid $5.70, so I'm making $2.26 on that one, and on a low price item, so it makes a big difference in the profitability. Silver Springs, Maryland. It's going quite a ways away. We're at 2 ounces on the Monopoly cards. pretty good. Let's see. Stick that right there. We're going to say we're at 7 by 5 by 3 on those guys. 7 by 5 by 3. Yeah, I underdid the shipping on these. For some reason I had shipping at $1.99, but it's $4.35, which, yeah, not a great one on these. On these Monopoly cards. Going to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which is funny. I know somebody who lives there. But not this person. I don't know this person. So I'm going to do one thing on here that I'm also going to do on this one is whenever I fold the poly bag over is I use the shipping label to seal it. So you got the important part right there, so they can scan it, and the rest of it's down there. No problemo. We're at 6 ounces on the chainsaw parts there. Those are the Levi's, right? Yep. 6 ounces on the chainsaw parts. Yeah. $4.80 to ship those. Let's see if I'm right on. I thought it was about $7 for the profitability on those. Let's see how correct I was. $7.05 minus 30 cents. Oh, there's an ad fee. They bought our promoted listing. That's what kind of killed it. So 30 cents, so I'm at $6.75 for that one. Not bad. We're at 3 pounds and 15 ounces for these 2 pairs of Levi's here. Okay. 3 pounds, 15 ounces. That's for that whole teapot. Let's see what we got here. $12 by 8 by 6. Buyer paid $12.99. I paid $10.66. So I'm making $2.33 on shipping on those. Pretty good. Going to Pittsford, New York. Not familiar with Pittsford. Got the owl teapot coming in at 1 pound 8 ounces. Get the Salad Master up here. Okay. Yeah, that's what that is. All right. I forgot. Didn't do a note and I forgot something, but now I know what it is. I just look back through the items. I had it at 3 pounds. It's 1 pound 8 ounces, and it's in a 12 by 8 by 6. We're gonna see if we can save some money in shipping. Buyer paid $7.16. I pay $6.53, so we're at 63 cents extra money on the shipping there. Going to San Antonio, Texas. I lived just outside of San Antonio for 5.5 years. It's an okay city to live in. I didn't mind it. All right, Salad Master set, 5 pounds, 12 ounces. I don't know how I shipped this. Did I do it USPS or FedEx? USPS, okay. So I had it at 10 pounds. Oof. Now where it's gonna get me is maybe the dimensions, we'll see. So 17, I had 16, 10, 17, 10, 7. So I'll save a little bit there, but we'll see. Yeah, buyer paid $15.28. I'm paying $10.30. So making $4.98 on that one. It's pretty good. Not gonna complain about that. Let's get this belt buckle up here. Going to Fayetteville, Georgia. Now, there's a lot of barcodes down here. I don't think the USPS people are going to be trying to scan those, but if there's an excess amount of weird barcodes like that, yeah, I'll probably just put 2 stickers. I'll just put blank shipping labels over them. You know, a couple cents a piece for a label. Just so it's not frustrating the postal service folks. We're at 5 ounces on the scuba buckle. Let's see. We got here, this is our hat. Five ounces on the scuba buckle. I had it at 2 pounds. That's quite a bit of difference. So let's see here, we're at 6. 6 by 5 by 3. Buyer paid $8.98 for shipping. I'm paying $4.80, so I'm making $4.18 on that one. That's pretty substantial. Especially because the buckle sold for, where are you? 1042, so making an extra 418. Going to Charleston, South Carolina. Alright, we've got the hat at 9 ounces. Now it's time to start weighing some heavy stuff. We've got the relish dish here. This hat. Had it, I should have flat rate shipping on that, so let's see. 11 by 9 by 3. No, I didn't have flat rate. That's interesting. Okay. Maybe it's before I moved to flat rate on clothing. So buyer paid $6.36. I paid $5.41. So I'm making what, 59, 98, 87 cents. 87 cents on that one. Dexter, Missouri. Another one going to Missouri. All right, we're at 5 pounds flat on the relish dish. Let's see how we did on that one on the shipping. Asked for careful packaging, did that. I don't remember what I had it listed at. 5 pounds exactly. That's crazy. Okay, let's see how we did on the box. 14 by 15 by 7. I had it 14, 14, 6. I could probably fudge it and get away with it, but I just, man, I don't want to get caught and get overcharged. Same price. Buyer paid 20, I paid 20. Not a problem. Going to Houston. Houston, Texas. Okay. That guy. Now we've got our set of Calphalon here, cookware. 11 pounds, 1 ounce. I wonder if I did this one FedEx. And this will be a promoted listing. Yeah. I did do this one on FedEx. So I had it 23 pounds because of dimensional weight. So I'm at 17 by 16 by 9. 17, 16, 9. 17 times 16 times 9 equals 2448 divided by 166. Get your dimensional weight is around 14.74, so 15 pounds. So when we put that in, we're going to say it's 15 pounds, 17, I do that 17 by 16, right? Yeah. By 7. I just did this, 9. Golly, Brian. Pretty good. So buyer paid $23.76. I'm paying $19.31, so making $4.45. That'll cover my promo fees probably, which will be good. My ad fees going to Portland, Oregon. If you're ever in Portland and you want some good coffee, there's probably a lot of places to get good coffee. The place that I went the first time I was there was Stumptown. First time as an adult. I was there a handful of times as a kid because I had an aunt there. But went to Stumptown Coffee. That was the first time I had a pour over coffee. It was so good. So good. And if you don't know why they call it Stumptown, it's because it's a logging town. There used to be stumps all over the place because of all the logging. On FedEx, there's no place to write a little note, really, so I put a separate label and do it that way. Got that one. How did I list the duck? It's the last thing to ship here. Well, except for, no, it's not. I've got to ship the reeler pin, and then I've got to ship those bowls at some point. How did I ship this? I did USPS. So... let's see where we're at. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Okay. £7, and I've got it at 7 pounds even. Man, I was pressing my luck on this one. I'm an inch over. I'm 25 on the length. That's gonna kill me a little bit. 16. I think I had everything right, but the length by 9. I was an inch off on the height too. This one might bite a little bit because the USPS doesn't like big packages. I don't know why I shipped this one. Ah. Oh, is that right? Yeah. That inch going from 24 to 25 cost $20. The inch in height cost me $3.50. That is insane. Okay, I'm gonna do it off camera. I'm gonna repack this one. I have to. I mean, I can spend 10 minutes on it repacking it, just cutting a little bit off the end and cutting a smidge off the height, and get myself into that range. To spend 10 minutes to save $20, I've got to do it. So, or actually, to save $23.50, I've got to do that. That's the reeler pin. Okay, let's see what we got here. That is insane, the difference an inch each way makes. Yeah, USPS. I don't know why I did that. That size package should have 100% went FedEx home delivery. I messed that one up. So I've got 1 ounce. I'm going to say 2 ounces. I added at 12 ounces. 6 by 4 by 4. Save that. 435 per shipping label. Going to Cypress, Texas. If I remember right, is around Houston-ish area, I think. All right, get that bad boy right there. All right, well, I've got to cut down that box and save myself $23.50. Then I've got to figure out how to ship those bowls. I got to go find a box somewhere to put those in and get those shipped out. But I'm not going to make you wait around for that. If you've stuck around this long, I thank you. I know this has been a long one, getting 17 items ready to ship out and getting all the shipments done. So really appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions, leave those down in the comment section below and I'll make sure and get back to you. And until next time, have a great day.